the eSingularity Prize for Global Education. Now, this is an idea that I had a year and a half ago, and it stems on basically, I don't know, 9 years worth of thinking about the problems of education, 5 years being a teacher in Japan, teaching language arts and trying a whole bunch of different things with technology. I was very free. I wasn't tied to any sort of strict curricula, and I could do anything I wanted to do. So for 5 years I experimented with the iPhone. I experimented with technology on computer systems, and it made me realize that the idea of eSingularity, the idea that the education singularity, that moment when basically education is on tap for anyone through smart devices, is pretty much coming. It's here. It's right around the corner. And ultimately, to help bring it about, because see, the natural evolution of what's going to happen with eSingularity is this, is that you're going to see basically medicine and business become the, and this happens all the time, basically become the leaders in the kind of technology that we're talking about. And autonomous learning technology basically is this. It's basically having software that is actually integral to the learning cycle, all right? So whether you have software monitoring your blood, right, and telling you, hey, there's an anomaly, constantly monitoring, constantly sending data, constantly checking, constantly interacting with you, or you have software that drives a car without a driver, you know, as part of the DARPA Autonomous Vehicle Prize, the idea of having autonomous learning software or autonomous software basically is coming. I mean, the fact that the iPhone, and I talked about this over a year ago, put a camera in the front of their friggin' iPhone is awesome, because now, like with this product right here, I can have software monitor me. Now, you know, I work in technology, and to give you an idea, we have software now that basically has that runs very sophisticated facial recognition in airports. We have software now that's very cheap that runs on, that basically does license plates recognition and everything else. You've probably seen the software that it hears music, it tells you what that music is. All of that software is built on basically AI, right? It's using very sophisticated algorithms, very sophisticated you know, software to basically act like it's thinking, right? So the idea of having, and I'm, you know, describe it on the iPhone, or I have all these educational iPhone apps. Why couldn't I have software like Siri, S-I-R-I, which is basically an assistant, autonomous assistant for you, so you can get it and try it, actually monitor my learning, right? Why couldn't I have, so example, when my son picks up my iPhone, it recognizes him and say, hi Tommy. Like a little avatar pops up just like me. Just imagine I'm a cartoon avatar that actually Tommy gets to create himself, and it goes, hi Tommy, and maybe it looks kind of like me because I'm his dad or his mom or whatever. Maybe there's two. Maybe there's the disciplinarian, which is me, and probably more like his mom, and encourages and monitors his learning. So it automatically pulls up the apps that I want. It picks up from the last time. It reinforces the learning objects that he's learned, right? And it provides him basically a very simple learning platform that requires no teacher. You know, autonomous learning is so simple, it's silly. And we have created the most difficult things, which is A, the hardware, all right? B, when I say hardware, I also mean like technology, the chip and everything else, the smart devices, right? And most importantly is we've laid a global network of connectivity. The other thing too is we have the software. And it's kind of like, I always talk about Benjamin Button. When the producers came to Benjamin Button, they say, hey, can you do this? And they looked and said, yeah, we can do this. And then if you watch the making of Benjamin Button, it's really cool because they actually said, you know what, we had no idea how we were going to do the technology for Benjamin Button. However, we knew the technology existed. The technology for eSingularity exists, right? There's lots of parts out there. You have Moodle, you have Curriki, which are the educational, the open education platforms that could be used, which drives communities. You've got individuals out there like Khan Academy, who single-handedly has put up over more than 1,300 videos. And it's funny, I mean, he's talking about now creating a platform for education for all. Something I've been talking about since 2001. So what's important is that eSingularity is a vision. It's a vision where just like I can breathe air, I can breathe in education. And I get that education through open education resources delivered to me in a multimedia game fashion, right? So it's videos with games. So the games are used basically to measure if I have learned the learning objects. Again, we're focused on, don't get hung up on, higher learning and all of that crap. We're focused on providing education to a 2-year-old to an 8th grade. And I'm sorry, as a teacher, I'll tell you, there is very little higher learning through that age. It's all about, if you're learning languages, you're learning what's known as learning objects. You're learning, as a 2-year-old, you're learning vocabulary. You're identifying that that's a trash can, that's a truck, that's a car. A truck and a car, they're both different. Those are learning objects. Both of them are objects. You have to learn what those objects are. Most of education, the foundation of education is on learning objects. And learning objects are very simple to teach, and actually technology can provide a much better platform for teaching learning objects than any teacher can. Because one, a platform can monitor the learning objects like it does with Smart FM. Go to Smart FM, you got the Serigo learning engine. That engine monitors learning objects. It's really great. Secondly, what that technology does better is it basically it can provide them in multiple different ways. So if I want to learn basically 5 different languages, if I was to use the traditional method for teaching, I would need 5 teachers, right? Well, with technology, all I need to do is have one platform that can deliver that. And in reality, 5 languages is nothing. We can deliver the same platform, the same learning objects, the same technology in over 100 languages. Now realize there's 6,782, I think, languages out there. If we're going to educate the world, we better stop thinking about that we need these physical objects called schools and these living objects called teachers, because I'm holding my teacher right here. And anyone who's done any learning on books on tape, anyone who's watched videos for education, that I am providing you just as valuable learning experience as someone standing up on stage and doing it. There's really no difference, okay? And ultimately, the one thing that I'm missing now after this video is a little quiz, a little open source quiz that quizzes you on what you just watched. Now, this is a startup idea for someone.